What's up, guys? This is Peter. I'm a physical therapist, and today we're going to be going over foam rolling and lacrosse ball for your upper body. So there's days that we do a lot of presses, pull-ups, even push-ups. So where are we going to lacrosse ball? Where are we going to foam roll? We're going to attack our lats, okay, which is kind of the muscle that starts down towards our hip and comes up towards our shoulder. We're going to also get our upper and mid back, okay, which is, again, kind of like this meaty part in here that we kind of do in class, all the way down, almost down to the low back. We got our upper, mid, and lower traps, which is kind of in the similar area up here. Then we also have our upper traps, which is this big meaty part between our neck and our shoulder. And then we're also going to get our pecs, which is obviously this big guy right here, but it also extends up towards our collarbone. We think of it as there's almost a triangle between our shoulder, our pec, and our collarbone. So this kind of little divot right here we want to get into too. So when do we foam roll? When do we lacrosse ball? I like to do it after exercise. It helps decrease the amount of soreness that we feel later on that day, even into the next day. There is some research that shows that it'd be good to do it before. If you have any questions about doing it before exercise, I can do that for you. The idea, or I can explain that to you. The idea is that it helps warm up your tissues. It's a good warm up if you do it before exercise, and it's a good warm down for after exercise. How long? We're going to go 30 seconds, 30 to 90 seconds. For every bout / every muscle group. So what that means is when we're foam rolling or putting a lacrosse ball and we feel it right on that spot, we want to maintain pressure on that spot for 30 to 90 seconds, depending on how tolerant you are of it, because it does hurt. It hurts. So you want to hold that spot for 30 to 90 seconds, and then after that time, move on. You don't want to do it past this. That's pretty much it. Let's go into it. Let's go into practicing. Allison here is going to demonstrate. We're going to foam roll our mid and upper back. So Allison, if you want to go ahead and lie on your back, please. So you want to start the foam roll a little bit lower and maintain your core and maintain a tight tummy when you're doing it, because what we don't want is when you're foam rolling, go ahead and bring your arch back. You see how her ribs flare up towards the ceiling? We don't want that, because when we do that, that is getting more into your low back, which is not what that's not what we're doing here. We're more into the mid / upper back. So go ahead and maintain the tight core here, and go ahead and lift your hips off of the table and roll down. There you go. And kind of arch over it, maintaining that tight core, making sure that those ribs don't flare up. You might hear some pops, some cavitations, but that's normal. As long as it doesn't hurt, then it's good. Kind of relaxes the tissues good. Next, what we're going to do, this is the most awkward foam roll out of all of them, is the lats. The lats, if you want to turn around. For her, it's this meaty part right here, okay? Right on the outside of our shoulder blade. So it kind of goes up into the armpit down here and comes down all the way here. So this is the part that we're going to be foam rolling. So you're going to approach it lying on your side. You want to start off up closer to your armpit with the foam roll. Okay? Extend your arm up overhead. Good, and you should feel it. Even if you're just lying on it like this, you might be able to feel it. So what you're going to do is you're going to foam roll not very far at all, probably just from here, from about the armpit down to about your breastbone, kind of in this area, just below the pecs, and come back up. So you're going to go down and up. Yeah, not a very much movement. It's pretty tender. There's not much soft tissue in there, so this is not only one of the most awkward, it's probably one of the most painful. But this is really good, really aggressive warm down after exercise. Okay, go ahead. All right, so with that, we'll go into lacrosse ball / softball for those same areas. So Ralphie already mentioned how already practices and already teaches us about kind of getting the meaty area that in between our shoulder blades. So we have our spine here, and then we have our shoulder blades, and this kind of this area, this meaty part, that's your lower and mid traps. And this is a really good area to attack once, you know, if you're doing a lot of like rows, push-ups, things like that. So you want to put this guy right in between that area, right in between your shoulder blades. Good. Same thing, kind of roll it around. One thing I will add is that if you find a spot and you feel like that's a really tender spot, you can hold it right at that position and start moving your arm up and down. You might feel that it might get even more tender as you move your arm up and down. Good, and you can move it up and down, up into the front as well. Good, awesome. And then we also have our lats. We can do lacrosse ball or softball for our lats as well. So that's going to be more, rather than here, it's going to be more on the other side of the shoulder blade, like we talked about, this meaty area. So we're going to get right in that area, so go ahead. Good. Kind of pin it to there, you find a spot. And then for this one, again, you're going to go out. You might need to rotate your body a little bit because as you move your arm up, your shoulder blade will start to move. So obviously you don't want to foam roll or lacrosse ball any like bony areas. You want to keep it, maintain it on that soft tissue. So if your shoulder blade kind of knocks your lacrosse ball out of the way, rotate your body to maintain it right on that soft tissue. All right, good. Another really awkward one is your upper traps. So there's no really good way to get the upper traps other than kind of against the wall like this. So there's going to be this guy right here. And you just kind of have to like go at an angle, kind of tilt your head a little bit. There you go. And you can kind of lift your arm up and down. Another really good one for the upper traps is, so if you get right in here, kind of lean into it, good. You can start to, here, leave your arm down, rotate your head. As you rotate your head away, that'll put the traps on stretch, and again, that'll start to, you might start to feel some increased tenderness when you do that, which is what we're going for. Okay, so go ahead and try it on the other side. Upper traps on the other side. Yep. And you kind of roll it around. There you go. And then you kind of drop this one down. There you go. And kind of get the top there as well. And then once you hit that spot there, you can rotate away. There you go. Awesome. Last one. Pecs. Again, we're going to try to attack this triangle here. So we have the triangle, the points of the shoulder, the collarbone, and the pec. And this divot, this is where we're going for. You can bias it. Some people are a little bit more tender closer to the pec. Some people are more tender closer to the shoulder. So it depends for everyone. So kind of feel around and see where you are more tender. This one again, you're kind of get up close and personal with the wall here. And same thing is you can start to raise your arm up and down when you do it. And that will, again, probably create some tenderness, which is what we're going for. All right, very good. Well, thank you for watching this. If you have any questions, I'll be here. You can always text me or whatever if you want to come over and ask, and we can exchange numbers, and I can give you some tips as far as foam rolling, things like that. Otherwise, have a good day.